Obesity, particularly around the abdomen, is a nuisance to many individuals. Also, different research studies have indicated that people with excess belly fat or obesity are likely to develop other diseases, such as diabetes. Bad habits that we do every day but do not think much of add up to the fat in our belly. Such habits are one of the reasons for fat deposition in other parts of the body, including the belly. In this day's video, I will discuss 10 effective research-backed behaviors that can lead to fast abdominal fat loss. Excluding these unhealthy habits will help reduce belly and waist fat, face fat, thigh fat, and buttock fat. Number 1. Once the food gets to the stomach after swallowing, one observes stomach-brain communication. Rasa. Message 2. Explaining message 2. The brain takes about 20 minutes to note the entire stomach. Consuming meals quickly increases the chances of a person taking more food, since the message of fullness may not reach the brain after passing through the stomach. Do not have an entirely laid-out meal and end up eating everything to the last grain, leading to overeating. The art of eating without lemon. Beyond this, it is easy to control how much food one takes to avoid taking extra calories, called mindful eating. But if, for specific reasons, you must eat very hurriedly, then put a certain quantity of the food on the plate, then leave the rest on the plate and complete the food hastily. There will be no opportunity to go for the second round of eating. Number 2. Don't skip any meals. Many people aim to have a late breakfast or combine the meal with lunch. Failing to eat a meal means making up for it sometime in the day, which means eating unhealthy meals. This can result in a regular buildup of fats in the abdomen region, commonly called belly fat. If you are one of those people who seldom take their breakfast or have it late in the morning, it is high time you change this habit. Make sure you eat all your meals. When you eat the next meal, ensure you do not eat many unhealthy foods. Number 3. Run for and use small plates instead of large plates. Of course, in this case, the size is not of a plate, but the amount of food that goes into the body. Usually, if the plate is significant, more food remains on it, so the subconscious mind picks up a little more food. Thanks to such plate presentations, most patients, if not all, prefer to consume all the food on the plate. If the stomach feels complete with some food left, no food is served on the plate. This results in overeating and, consequently, weight gain and fatted tissues in the body. Several things that can be done to help cut down on belly fat include the following. Eat in small quantities, using small plates to take what you can eat. It retained the normal proportions concerning the quantity when taking food from the plate. This will minimize the possibility of wasting large amounts of food and overindulging. Number 4. It is important not to overeat. Feeling that it is polite. When we are outside our homes, specifically going out for dinner, we take more food because it is impolite not to do so. In this case, the laboratory is not considered a must-do if someone places food on the plate. Once again, food is bought when meeting with friends or other people, even when already replete. These habits result in the accumulation of fat and thus act as a reason for weight gain. Another culture practiced in Dawa is that foods should be sweet, and it is proper to end the meal with sweets. If one indulges in overeating food or overeating, on the one hand, one will experience the feeling of a bloated stomach. On the other hand, fat may deposit in the body. Measures that can be taken to minimize the development of belly fat. Considerable effort is needed to step out of this pattern and start changing it, at least to some degree. Portion control your food, especially with the knowledge of the harm that comes with too much food. If you choose to eat sweets, cut down on other foods, or eat different types of foods in smaller portions. Bitter foods are unfavorable, so take lots of foods that are sweet. Number 5. Avoid binge eating. This implies that if one is engaged in other activities, they cannot concentrate on what they are eating. Suppose you continue eating junk food while watching your favorite sporting events, dramas, or anything else on television or your phone. In that case, you are highly likely to develop what is referred to today as belly fat, because then, a person can rapidly consume more calories than necessary. Once again, even if many are not precisely ravenous, they eat while watching TV, which becomes a routine. These foods are also mainly associated with undesirable health consequences. This only shows how these fried and deep-fried foods are consumed on hand, yet the portions are large. Measures one should take to cut out belly fat. These additional and unhealthy foods introduce extra calories that lead to the formation of fat storage in the body. Thus, knowing when to eat slowly to unload fat is required. As to nutrition, one must become mindful of food. or mindful eating. Number 6. Coping with stress. Stress is known to be one of the causes of the accumulation of body fat. In a situation where one is stressed day after day, body produces a hormone referred to as cortisol. An increase in this hormone can lead to intense cravings for sugary or fatty foods. This is because hunger or the need for food comes with this hormone. The hormone cortisol does 3 other things to promote weight gain, especially abdominal fat. The hormone cortisol does 3 other things to promote weight gain, especially abdominal fat. The fat stored in the abdominal area is higher than any other body part, the back, thighs, or buttocks. This is known as central adiposity in medical term. This one increases a hormone known as ghrelin. This hormone makes one feel more hungry, which is also referred to as the feeding center. Decreases the production of another hormone known as leptin. Leptin tells us that we have had enough, making us not want to eat anymore. As a result of this hormone, the stomach gets full very slowly. There is always a feeling of hunger, and the fat accumulated from overeating is deposited under the skin and about the internal organs. That is why stress should be managed adequately and on time if fat loss is the goal. Stress can be countered through exercise, enough sleep, enjoyable activities, meditation, and, if required, a therapist's help. Number 7. Change unhealthy sleep routines. Some researchers have linked inadequate sleep to weight gain for the following reasons. In the middle of the night, when you find it difficult to sleep, you may feel the urge to chew on something. The calories from the extra food taken in this manner are stored in the body as fat. Had you been asleep, the excess calories would not have been consumed. When working late at night, the only foods available are those with unhealthy fats, sugars, or processed foods. It very rarely matters whether the food they eat is healthy. Also, if there is a questionable amount of sleep daily, one has mental pressure or stress most frequently. Stress, in many ways, this stress contributes to weight gain and fat accumulation. Number 8. Avoid brown rice and brown bread. When preparing white rice, white flour fiber or other nutrients that it is rich in are washed away. Fiber facilitates the slow digestion of foods and ensures that there is a steady elimination of waste from the body. Thus, calling attention is needed because the consumption of fiber and food digestion is fast, and blood glucose levels increase in the same quick manner. Many investigations have supported the idea that increased consumption of processed grains, such as white rice and white flour, leads to fat deposition. On the other hand, there is information that those who consume more whole grain foods, such as red rice or brown rice also, and red flour, have lower belly fat levels. Following are tips that will help people avoid contracting stubborn belly fat. The major drawback is that many people need to be more accustomed to eating red rice or flour. Thus, it wouldn't taste good initially. Though this will effectively decrease the fat accumulated in the belly, it will be very healthy. Hence, it is suggested that you start incorporating the habit of consuming them slowly. The white rice or white flour may be combined in small portions with red rice or red flour, respectively. Number 9. Read the label before consuming low-fat or fat-free product. And going on a low-fat diet can make you gain fat, which is quite absurd. This is because even low-fat or fat-free foods are usually perceived as healthy but sometimes unhealthy. When you make food low in fat, simply taking it out or decreasing it can make it unpalatable for most people. Therefore, to enhance the chance of increasing the sale of these foods, so that people will eat them since the food is not palatable, they add extra sugar to the food and advertise it. What measures should be taken to minimize the risk of developing belly fat? Consuming more sugars results in a lot of calories, makes food unhealthy, and results in obesity. Label. Therefore, from this time on, every time you use low-fat or fat-free foods, make sure you check the label to see if it contains added sugar or not. Number 10. Do not lie down. Instead, engage in some activity. Any person with basic information on weight management has it in mind that fat mass increases any time one lays down. A very radical solution is to go for a brisk walk for only 30 minutes 5 days a week. It is only necessary to have 45 minutes to 2.5 hours of physical activity weekly to accumulate numerous advantages. You will derive health risks, and the quantity of body fat will also be improved. I say this because people break the no pain, no gain rule and expect to shed fat within a week. Continue walking, which is best accompanied by lifting weights and other strength exercises. You can also do any other exercise, depending on your wish. According to our guide, It is possible to start running even if one has not been physically active for a long time and build up to running 5 kilometers. This kind of exercise for fat loss can be begun at home. No help from any equipment or apparatus is necessary, and one does not need to go to the gym. You will find many videos containing exercise instructions if you type the following words in the search engine or YouTube. Some of these words are: push-ups are standard for the chest and shoulders. Pull-ups are a great back exercise. Squats are the ever-popular plank, and squats are for the legs and buttocks. By watching this video, we expect that you will understand various methods of shedding belly fat. Before proceeding further, it is essential to note that the following tips will assist in diminishing belly and waist fat, thigh fat, buttock fat, and face fat.